hello Solo. And hi Bobby and hi Fox. That glare just seems so... What's the word? It starts with an M. Menacing. I was gonna be like, manifesting? It feels very manifesting? That's not right. That's not quite right. It's not quite right. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello. So how are you? Maybe I should be flirting today. You know, maybe that's what we should be doing today. What are we doing today? If you could not tell from the thumbnail that I spent a trillion hours on, you should pay attention to the thumbnails. You should look at them and then be like, oh wow, I can see all the thought that went into every single part of it. I can see that this line is especially in a really nice position. It is like 0.2 millimeters above where the other text is. Therefore, it is more beautiful. It has an outline here, and then it has like a darker version on the background as a shadow. And then the composition is lovely. There's only like 3 main things, so it doesn't like distract your attention. And then it has a heart, because the heart is similar to like the context, and therefore it makes your brain be like, aha, that makes sense, because it was originally party decorations, and it's like, clearly that's not it. The connection is not connecting, but therefore my big brain, there we go, big brain, clink clink, bash the head and you can hear the solid wrinkles and weight, mass. The mass of my brain is heavy enough to, if you were to like weigh it against an elephant, it would be heavier than an elephant, because my brain's just that large. This is a terrible analogy. No, I spent like 5 minutes on it. But yes, 5:03. Isn't that lovely? It is 8:04 here. Haha. You should just come to Australia. You know, if you can have the same time zone, then it's easier on all of us. Do you agree? Oh, what did I accidentally unplug? No, we're good. Do you agree? Dost thou agree? Agreeth with me? 6:05. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are ready for a day of getting up and jumping. Everyone, get up now and do 7-star jumps. Have you done 7-star jumps? If you didn't get 7-star jumps done in like 3 minutes, I will be very disappointed in you. How dare you not do 7-star jumps? If you really want to make me proud, you would do 14 now. You have 10 seconds to do 14-star jumps. Let's go. 1, 2. Okay, I'm done counting because I'm bored of counting. Yes. Do you know the 36 questions? Did I accidentally close it? No. I think it was 36. I hope it was 36. And I didn't just pick a random number, you know? I could have done like the 7. And then turns out there's 300, you know? 300, close enough. That's all right. But basically, it's going to be discussion. I was going to yap, and I realized I had nothing to yap about. So I found something to yap about the 36 questions to fall in love. Basically, this is a set of questions that I think like psychologists came up with, and it's meant to get people to become closer after answering them. And I thought, I'm not sure, why not? Because it was so funny. This was a while ago, right, when I was having dinner with a friend, and we didn't have much in common. I think I've talked about this before. Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. And I was with a friend, right? And we didn't know each other that well, so I was like, okay, we could do the 36 questions to fall in love. Obviously, it wasn't because I wanted to fall in love, nah. But it was like, they're pretty good questions at getting you to like open up and be vulnerable, you know? Because if you're trying to make friends with someone and you're just like, haha, do you like cheese? Yeah, I do, haha. You're not really gonna get anywhere. But if you ask like, what are your future aspirations? Then you have to like think about it, and they have to think about it, and you get to be like, oh really, me too, I see your motives. And then once you get vulnerable, then it's like, there's connection between us. Hello, Nix! Hello, it's been a while. Yes, I feel like it has been a while. Let me just change the BGM real quick, because that one's really quiet in my ears, but then if I do this one, it should be about the same volume for you, but it's a lot louder in my ears. That one's a bit too dramatic. Ooh, that's also dramatic. Where's like a nice one? Coastal Sway, that sounds nice. Okay, because I was getting like, maybe I just turned the monitoring off. I was getting like self-conscious because I heard myself so loud in my ears. So, if I don't hear it, it's fine. But yes, hello! It has been a while. Welcome back. Today we have a brilliant plan, actually. A brilliant plan. The plan is to do the 36 questions to fall in love. And I was just talking about why they're good. And it basically helps you open up to people. And yeah, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say like deep. What would you consider like a deep question? Like deep. Because I don't know if someone's like, oh, let's talk deep questions. I'd be like, what counts as a deep question? But you know, okay. I mean, I guess they could. When I think of deep, I just think of life life trauma. You know, that's what I think. In my opinion, a deep question is like, hey pals, what's your life trauma? Okay. My girlfriend favorite food. Who is my favorite? I want to say Hachi, but I haven't finished the plot, so I can't say Hachi. I would not know that actually. Dug out from an abandoned mining site? That's deep. The children yearn for the mines. The children yearn for the deep mine questions. It's what's the line there? Let's Minecraft. My energy is all there for the Minecraft. BS. Shall we begin? I would just read them out to you because changing the screen is gonna be like an ugly screen of just text. No one wants to see that. So if I say the question, you just kind of have to remember it and then give your answer, and I'll give my answer. And if you don't want to hear my answer, too bad. Okay, so the first one is, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? I wonder how you will think of this question. What do you mean no? Oh, did I read that wrong? No, you did say no. Hello, by the way. Hello. We're doing the 36 questions to fall in love. 愛してるよ。皆さん、とても愛してる. That does not even make sense. But you know, the intention's there. The intention's there. Loving intentions. Do you hear the romantic music in the background? Just imagine candles. Imagine if I had like a toggle that made everything dark, and then there was just light on me, and there was purple light, and there was a sexy mood, and then there was brown. Sorry. Yeah. Wednesday Adams, why? Why? Defend your answer. The first question, was, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? You know, it would really suck. You know it's bad when you're trying to make friends with someone and you're asking questions like this, like, who would you want to be with? And they just give out, like, pretend they didn't say anything. They're just like, Jeff. And you're like, who? Why? What? If it's self-explanatory, like they're really hot or something, it's like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But if they don't explain that... Or strawberry shortcake. Okay, but why? Why? Justify your answers. And you can't say Yufu, by the way. You can't say that. That's cheating. Okay, that's cheating. Clearly, I would choose... Ooh, that's my drink bottle. Clearly, I would choose the Ukyo. Raise your hand if you were surprised. Oh, I don't see any hands. It may be because this is over the internet and that we cannot see hands. But what if I got like a hand emote and it just popped up like, oh, welcome to the Fufus! welcome, thank you for joining the membership. Because for a friendship club, I don't know if I know the friendship club, but that does sound fun. It kind of reminds me of like, I'd always wanted to be an idol, and then recently I'm like, do I really want to be an idol, or do I just want to hang out with like a whole bunch of cute friends? I can see that, because she's the only family I can rely on when I repay her debts. Like, I can't repay her debts for raising me. That's so fair. That's so sweet though. What would you make them for dinner? Or would you guys get like takeout? I think Ukyo and I would just get takeout because I don't think we're good at cooking. But Uda Ukyo is actually really good at cooking. It could work out. Because if I was having to cook, you'd be getting shin ramen with like ham and shallots and egg, but like none of it's cut well because I suck at cutting. Because like I was never really taught household skills, which is slightly inconvenient, you know, when you live a life in a household. So I had to like remember back to 7th grade in class. I was gonna say Japan. What? In like food tech class, and they taught us how to like chop veggies and stuff, and they taught us really terrible stories because they couldn't just be like, oh yeah, you cut veggies like this. You have to hold the like left hand, the fist, and you chop with the right hand. And, you know, they could have just done that, you know, but no, they had to be like, you have to do it this way, or you're gonna chop your fingers off. Some girl in our class chopped her finger off, and then she shoved her, like, the end of fingerless finger into her mouth to stop the bleeding. But why would you do that? It's full of germs. Like, to be fair, I don't know how she could have done any better. And I talk about this story a lot because I'm cursed by it. Because every time I think about cutting vegetables, and every time I'm cutting vegetables, I'm like, I could be that girl that the teacher was talking about when I was like 12. And then she cut her finger off and everything is terrible. See, that's what I remember every single time I try chopping something. Or every time I think of chopping something. Or anytime I see something that's just finely chopped. And I'm like, instead of thinking like, wow, you chopped this so well. You must be so good. I'm like, you could have been that girl who chopped her finger off. Yeah, Puma. Yeah, this is what happens when you suddenly remember school trauma. Asian street food is good enough. The dirtier the place, the better. Oh, have you seen that one meme where it's like, you know, it's a good Chinese restaurant when the owner's kid is in the corner doing homework. It must be so hard though to focus on your homework while everyone around is just eating so much food and being like, "Can I get more of this?" and blah 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 blah. Speed, so fast, speed. Yeah, the speed's gonna slow down again because I forgot I don't have any more trauma to go to. When similar age bracket with some overlapping interests to get the conservation going, because you never know if I may be compatible. So given the choice of anyone in the world, it may be like just someone you could fall in love with, right? Is that kind of what you're saying? Like, might as well be a perfect speed dating kind of thing. Like, perfect. Oh, do you believe in those matchmaking people? I saw there was like a matchmaking thing promoted at my uni. It was like really sketchy. It was like in a bathroom stall. There was a poster and it sent us to a website. And the website's like, "Oh, are you sick of blah 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 blah?" And I'm like, "Wow, this sounds so sketchy." Anyway, I might be interested for the experience. It was interesting though. It was like, you don't see each other. It's just based on voice at the start. So I'm like, okay, well that would get rid of like face-to-face bias and like judgment based on what you look like and that kind of thing. So that could be good. But then I'd imagine it would suck so bad if people are like, "Oh, I love him," and then they see each other's face for the first time and they're like, "You're a bit ugly, man." Okay, don't say that to people. That's mean. Speed dating or not? I guess that makes sense. But I was thinking like for these questions, it would be the kind of thing you would ask on a first date anyway. So I feel like it might be a bit strange to be like, "Oh, I would have just someone with similar interests." Because I'd imagine in my brain that like the person sitting across from you would have that. Potentially. Anyway, that's the first question. Good job, fam. Good job, fam. Question 2. Would you like to be famous? And in what way? I like this music. I like this music a lot. For me, I would say yes, but not like to the insane amount, you know? Like, I would like it because, you know, riches and being able to like survive in this economy. wait, maybe I don't want to be famous. Maybe I just want to be financially stable. maybe that's the case. But you know, it'd be nice to have people be like, oh, Yufu-sama, you are the ichiban awesome tomodachi desu. And I feel, okay, more than me being famous, I think I would enjoy like bragging. Not exactly, but like letting my friends be able to brag, you know? I'd like to be able to go around and be like, don't worry about it, fam. I can pay for this. I'll pay for this for you, you know? Oh, you wanted that bag? Don't worry. It's $1 billion, but you know, I got $1 billion. It's yours now. You know, I want to be that friend who can just give everything. Because how would you like to wake up and it's like, "Oh, today you forgave me 3 cars." Like, I wish I was that rich. Maybe I don't want to be famous. Maybe I just want to be rich. Maybe that's a bit sad. But, you know, I would be okay with famous if it was, like, art related. Because then it means you can get more work, right? Because there's, like, so many good artists who aren't famous and therefore they just don't get work. And then you see them on like Skeb and it's like the most gorgeous art you've ever seen. They have no samples and it's like, okay, I'm selling these for $11 and everyone's like, 11? You should be selling for like 3,000. Anyway, it makes me sad seeing artists like that. So, you know, I want to be like a famous artist. Once I'm really good, once I deserve the fame, you know? Yeah, once I improve a lot, then we can have it, you know? Just gatekeep that for me for a bit. Brings its own baggage of craziness depending on how we become famous. How would you want to then? Or how would you not want to? Like, the second part of the question is in what way? In what way would you want to be famous? What way would you not want to be famous? Would you date someone who's famous? I ask this every single time. Because it reminds me of Iki from Amnesia. Amnesia Kurado. No, that's a really bad impression. Because I feel like if I was dating someone with like lots of fans, that would be really not good. But you know, I would be fine if I was famous dating someone without lots of fans. And they would have to just put up with it for me. Because you know, I'm worth it. What if I heard that line like that? I'm worth it. Or is it you're worth it? Is it an ad or something? I feel like it's an ad. Yeah, no. I imagine it would really suck though to be famous for something bad, right? Well, like, clearly. I feel bad for, like, Sid Snap, right? Didn't she get, famous back in the day for something in a cringe compilation or something? But, you know, she turned it around. She embraced that cringe. And I'm so proud of her. She's so cool. Would be nice, but I don't need a lot of questions come towards my way since I'm a very quiet person. That's fair. What kind of questions would they ask? Like, interrogation kind of questions, or like like interview, like, when did you meet them, how did you meet them, why did you meet them? It's like, I don't know why I met them, I didn't choose to meet them. You know, it would be so funny though if, because I really like the trope of idol who is sick of being famous and person who doesn't know they exist, and then they meet and it's like, oh, they become close and the other person doesn't realize the other person's famous, and then they do find out and it's like, you were famous all this time and I never knew, I'm so sorry. And they're like, oh no, it's good that you didn't know. It's relaxing, it's peaceful, you don't have ridiculous expectations of me, and that is gorgeous. Anyway, I don't know if I've actually seen something with that plot, but in my mind that plot exists, and in my mind it's a good plot, so someone please make something like that. Maybe to be chased by the paparazzi, unless you are the paparazzi. What if you are famous paparazzi? What if you're famous for being a ninja? Maybe that's the way I want to be famous, for being a ninja, so I can avoid the paparazzi. You will never see me in picture, you know, because I'm just so good. Don't ask how I could be famous for not being able to be seen. But hey, did you see that one meme of, oh, I didn't see you in ninja class today. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's go on to the next question then. Let's go on to the next one. I don't know if we're going to get to all 36, because how long has it been? It's been 20 minutes and we've gotten through 2. Absolute nightmare that would be. Exactly. But, you know, maybe, you know, social distancing and all those weird things people did to keep like 6 feet apart or something. And they had all these like really big hats and stuff that would like forcibly push people away because it was just so huge. You could do something like that and just like, or have like a robot arm that goes in front of you, like left, right to like clear a path for you. Or you could just get bodyguards. You know, if you're that famous, you could get bodyguards everywhere. And you could have like sunglasses, you could have like sound cancelling, everything. Headphones that just cancel every single sound ever. So you wouldn't have to hear anyone ever again. And you'd be able to walk freely-ish. Sure, people would stare, but you know, it'd be fine. Okay, next question. Before making a telephone call, do you rehearse what you're going to say? And why? I feel like the why is pretty obvious, right? You'd probably be like nervous about it or something. Yeah. I used to a lot, but then I think overall that had me like getting more freaked out about phone calls. Because then I start being like, if I don't rehearse, I'm not going to know what to say. And then I get there and I'm like, I didn't rehearse! But then even if I do rehearse, it's like, oh, I can't remember what I rehearsed. So it's like, you might as well just not rehearse it. Right? Believe it comes to you out of nowhere. It's kind of how I feel for like interviews, right? Or like any kind of scary talking with people kind of thing, right? I feel like telephone calls is just like talking plus. Like, you know how it's like new game plus, talking plus. It's just normal talking, but a bit difficult because you don't have like the visual cues. You can't see if someone is happy. Bro, I can't tell. Maybe you guys are all just, maybe all of you are like this right now. They're like, why is she talking? You know, blissfully unaware. I will never know. This is basically a phone call, guys. Wait. Now it's a phone call. How do people watch podcasts? Isn't it hard to watch? If you can't like see their mood, if they're being sarcastic, you're never gonna be able to know. Though I guess it's like still better than messaging, right? Like imagine a podcast, but it was like a messaging podcast, and it was like maybe like an AI just reading it out in a monotone voice, just people's messages. I feel like that could be a really, really annoying one. And no one would be able to understand like the social cues. No one would understand why anyone's saying anything the way they're saying, and they're like, is that sarcastic? And everyone's like, who knows? Siri said that. Did you know that the person who voiced Siri got like $0 for voicing Siri? And they didn't know they were voicing Siri until they got their phone or whatever, and they're like, oh, new function, Siri. That's my voice. That's my voice. Yeah, no. If someone wants to steal my voice for technology, do not. You should pay me just a lot. お金稼ぐ私はスターキラー As for phone calls, since I prefer to be a bit more honest with my answers, what you say during phone calls can leave quite the impression. Would you say it makes more of an impression than just normal talking? Because that's one thing about time travel stories, right? Where they're like, oh no, if I go back in the past to like save someone or something, then I'm putting my own future first, and what I say impacts everyone. But then her friends, which is really nice, all her friends who supported her were like, we all impact everyone with all our choices. So I think what you're doing is fine. Like, I am a news reporter, for example. The way I talk about some people or talk about other people is going to leave a lasting impression, you know? And it's like, oh, that's true. So don't worry about what you're going to do, because everyone makes an impression, you know? Anyway, I like giving random otome-related anecdotes. Words can have an impact depending on what you say. Fair enough, fair enough. I feel like in person gives the most impact, right? Because I feel like it's easy to make friends for like 3 hours just in real life compared to like 10 hours in message. Maybe that's too much exaggeration. Maybe it's about 50, no, about the same. Like 10 hours is equivalent to like 3 hours in person. Though I guess it depends on like what you talk about. I feel like the easiest way to get people to become friends is get them to come over for a sleepover or something. Because sleepovers is when you bring out the important questions, like the 36 questions to fall in love. Like there's so little you can do with questions like, oh yeah, how was your day? You need to be like, what would constitute a perfect day for you? That's question 4. What would constitute a perfect day for you? The first time I heard this question, I was like, maybe living in a nice house and then waking up with a nice sun and huge windows with the sun coming in to wake me up. Because, you know, it's different when the sun wakes you up compared to an alarm wakes you up, or if you just wake up naturally and it's dark and cold. So, you know, I would like it to be a nice sunny day, waking up nice and sunny, and then I will go downstairs, maybe pet some cats, you know, make some waffles or something for my lactose intolerant soul, and then, you know, sit on the toilet for like 20 minutes. But no one will talk about that. And then maybe hang out with my tomodachi, the loves of my lives, perhaps. And then maybe I go out to lunch or something, and then I come back and I draw for like 3 hours, and maybe I'll watch TV with someone, and then maybe I'll play otoge, and then maybe I will sleep early. That is the ideal day. None of that really happens in real life, in reality, as of now, unfortunately. But you never know. It could be tomorrow. I could start living my life the way I want to live it. I could start doing everything. In person would be a biggest impression compared to just hearing voice over the phone. Online voice chat. Exactly. I agree. I feel like certain group. I feel like for groups and stuff and like jobs and stuff, you definitely need to see the person when you're like hiring them, for example. I feel like if it's just like a phone call or like a voice call, it's like I don't trust you that much. I don't think you're not gonna burn our fries at our establishment. Because I feel like even if it's like a really boring job, like even if it's just, oh, can you deliver this to the next room over every 5 minutes or something, I feel like you need someone somewhat reliable for that. I get annoyed at my bosses being like, they have poor judgment. Like, why did you hire this guy? This guy's clearly ridiculous. This guy clearly doesn't do any work. Oh yeah, my work accidentally sent me like $20 extra in my paycheck, but I'm not gonna tell them that. They accidentally paid me for my break because I pressed the wrong thing, and they said they were gonna fix it. So I accidentally pressed paid instead of unpaid break. So I got paid for that break because they didn't want to change it because it's like at the night before paychecks came out. So I got an extra $20 that I will spend on like KFC tomorrow back into the establishment, because they have habanero chicken now. I tried the sauce. It was really sweet actually, but then it had like a spicy kick afterwards, which is good. I wonder if they have. Would you like me to? Okay, I'm gonna read the KFC menu for you. I'm gonna read the KFC menu because I want to know what I can get tomorrow. But yes, what would constitute a perfect day for you guys? While I check this. $8.45 for 3 pieces? That's ridiculous. This a feast? I have to pack a feast? I have to pack a feast? That's terrible. Anyway. I do want to try it. Maybe I'll get a combo. It's only 12.45 for a combo. Maybe I'll get a combo. Yeah, since perfect day, so I wouldn't know. Okay, but like your ideal day. What would your ideal day be? Drink some root beer? Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough, okay. My ideal day... I forgot to mention my ideal day. I would have shin ramen. You gotta have your favorite food. You'd have to have your favorite food for every meal, right? If you wanted to be a perfect day. But then I feel like I couldn't have too many of my favorite foods in one day or I'd be too full. Because my favorite foods aren't just like small things. I wish my favorite food was like a cucumber. But it's not. It's a huge meal. So I think I would have probably something really light for breakfast. Like a quarter of a crepe. I want a crepe, but I want to save room for then. So then I could have shin ramen for lunch. And then for dinner, I would have pizza or tacos. Do you guys prefer pizza or taco? I feel like those two are often fighting each other, right? It's always like, do you like pizza or do you like tacos? Or do you like nachos? I feel like nachos are never really compared because, you know, it's not as good as pizza or tacos. Wake up late, eat breakfast, catch up on things I missed, walk in the park for a nice lunch, catch a stream, play something before dinner, lays about after that before bed. Would you really want to catch up on things you missed on a perfect day? What about on a perfect day you don't have to do any work? Or would you still rather just be able to get it done on that day? Because when I have to, if I have even like 1% of work to do in a day, it's like, I don't want to do that day. What if I just do not? What if I do not? And then my whole day is ruined if I have like 5 minutes of work. And the night before, I'm like, okay, I will mentally prepare to do 5 minutes of work. And then I just don't do it and I procrastinate. Barbecue pizza. Like the sauce barbecue pizza? I like tomato for my base. I remember one time, because I always get it with tomato. One time they gave it to me with barbecue when it was meant to be tomato. And I was so sad. I was so sorrowful because I had to go all the way over there. It was like a 45-minute car drive. Of course, I didn't drive because I was like 12. Yeah, and then we finally got there, and they took forever, and then it was the wrong pizza, and then, you know, there was one time I was even more mad where they just completely gave me the wrong pizza. You know, I wanted a spicy, a meaty, one with chili and deliciousness, and I was waiting for that all day, you know. We went there, took like an hour to get there, we had to hang out with an annoying family for like 4 hours, and then we finally got to dinner, and they got the wrong pizza, and then I just went home, and it was not nice, it was not nice. I'm still salty about that. And they told us they would give us like, oh, I'll get you a replacement. They did not. We did not get that extra pizza. We did not. I'm still mad about it. Is that the right toggle? How could they do this to me? How could they do this to me? Anyway. Shall we continue to the next question then? 5. And yeah, no, I'm allergic to pineapple. So I'm gonna agree that I don't like pineapple pizza. Question 5. When did you last sing to yourself? Or to someone else? Better to make progress on something you need to work on, no matter if it's a perfect day or not. Future selves would be thankful. Okay, but what about if your perfect day had no work? If a perfect day was sometime in the future when you didn't have to do work? I would say that's a perfect day. My perfect day exists far in the future. Okay, that's how I consider the perfect day thing. Rather than just like, if it was tomorrow. Mine's more like, once I'm financially stable. In the future, I would maybe I would get some merch in the mail. And it'd be the $200 Ukyo plush. That'd be so funny. That'd be so sad though. So very sad. Okay. My answer to question 5. When did I last sing to myself? It was like half an hour ago. There we go. It was right now. Didn't do it. Absolute perfect day. Glad to hear it. Okay. I don't know. I feel like that question's kind of interesting to find out like what kind of person the other person is. Like, are they a whimsical person who likes to sing and dance and karaoke and opera? I don't know any opera songs, but I can sing them songs really high that are meant to be really high. Like, last time I want you, like it's magnetic, you. Maybe that wasn't the most interesting song to sing. My voice is really dead today, and I don't know why. Maybe today's stream will be a bit quiet. Maybe not quiet, like short. Maybe just like an hour and a half because my throat is dying for no reason at all. We'll see though. We'll see. Play music for myself. I have to pick my sentences. Cafe. I'm not sure I understand that. Sorry. Okay, next question then. Next question. If you guys have not sung to yourself or someone else recently, if you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years, which would you want? Retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life. Which would you want? Like to silently hum randomly since it keeps my mind running. Last I seriously sang though was part of a group for happy birthday, like the happy birthday to. Have you ever started singing the song and then gotten everyone else to sing it? Because it's always really awkward when we're standing around the cake and it's like, we're gonna sing? Are we gonna sing? Are we gonna sing? And then someone's like happy and we're all like, yeah! Happy birthday to you, Desne. That's how it goes. We always have to wait for that one person. And I was that one person for the first time in my life. And I was cheering internally like, I did it! Because it's really awkward if you start happy birthday and no one else happy birthdays. But I did it because I'm a pro at social interactions. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, pow. That one guy from Carol and Tuesday who's like, pow, pow. Is that what he says? Pow, pow. Anyway. Yes. The mind or body of a 30-year-old. Which do you want when you're like 90 years old? I feel like most people would want mind, right? Because, yeah, mind is good. You know, I think I would actually prefer body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life. Because I would rather be delusional but not have body pain than have so much body pain but be able to do puzzles. Like, why would I want to do puzzles if everything hurts it all the time in every joint ever? Right? I feel like we've done these questions before, actually. This seems very familiar. I feel like I've said this before. I feel like I've said this before. Oh, okay, what about this? What about this? You retain the mind and the body of a 50-year-old for the last... No, of a 60-year-old for the last 30 years. What about that? What about that? Retain the mind and body of a 60-year-old for the last 30 years of your life. I think that's the best one, right? Like, sure, you'd have a bit of pain, but your brain would still be pretty good. Your body would be pretty good. Makes your mind what? Okay, but that's cheating. That's cheating. Probably body what? Really. I feel like everyone I've talked to is like, oh, definitely the mind. Definitely the mind. Okay, they can be smart sitting next to me in the retirement village. And I will be like, Ukyo this. My final words will be, I loved you, Ukyo. And my future husband or wife would just be looking at me like, excuse me? Excuse me? Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes you gotta priorities. Mine and since it's better? Is it better? Do you think it's better? What do you plan to do with your 30-year-old brain when you're 80 years old? Like, even if you have figured out the greatest science thing ever, you can't just go to someone and be like, oh, by the way, I figured out the meaning of life. They're not gonna believe you. I'd get them to sacrifice the body for Pokemon. I'm not sure I understand that, sorry. Okay, let's move on to the next question then. 7. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? Ooh, when I was younger, I don't know if I still have this, because it happens like once every few years maybe. I see someone on the street, or like not on the street, maybe like across the street or something. And I'm like, I was you in a past life. I can feel it. You seem very familiar. I remember this specific one. We were in the car, just driving wherever. I don't remember where. And there was this one lady or man or something watering their flowers across the street. It was like a whole intersection or something. And on the other side, there was a house where they were watering. And it was like a really thin garden on the side of the house. And I still remember it. And I was like, that's me. That was me, you know? I don't know why. And there was this other time when it was like early 2017 when I was getting into high school. And you know how at the start of high school, they have all these like assemblies, like, oh, meet this person, oh, meet that person, you know, that kind of thing. And there was this one kind of buff guy, and he was really not like strict, he was like really sweet but direct, you know. And he was like, this is this, and this will be this, and this is this, and then we would do this. And I was like, I have definitely been you before, you know. It's weird. Would you imagine me as like a buff, stern man? Me neither, you know. I feel like it. But do you have a hunch how you will die? I don't have a secret hunch how I will die. You know, I can't really think about my future. Everything feels like it won't happen. It feels like it can't happen. Does that make sense? I was like, before I started high school, I was like, there's no way I could be in this school. This school is completely not my vibe. It scares me to think that I would be somewhere like this, you know? It's not my vibe at all. And then I went through high school. And then same for uni. It's like, I really can't imagine myself going here. Like, absolutely 0% chance I can imagine myself going here. And then I went there. So for me, the future is very, very vague. And I can't really think, like, imagine myself doing anything. And it's more like, well, if I end up doing it, I end up doing it, you know? Maybe in the end, I'll end up being an engineer, you know? Maybe I'll be a hairdresser. Maybe I'll be a psychologist. Maybe I'll be a lawyer. Maybe I will create my own auto game. Maybe I will become famous from selling noodles. Like, who knows? I can't imagine doing anything specific in my future. So I think I'm just gonna, like, go with the flow. Go with the flow this yo. So yes, do you guys have secret hunches about how you will die? Let me drink some water real quick. Oh, my water bottle's almost empty. Just give me a sec. Don't think how I would die, but most likely outcome would be quite suddenly by the hands of someone else without expecting. You think you're gonna get murdered? Is that what you think is gonna happen? Hello, Tamama! Hello, Tamama. Hello, Tamama. We are currently doing the 36 questions to fall in love. So basically, it's just 36 questions that are kind of deep questions. I don't know, not like super deep, but it's kind of like, let's get talking more than just small talk, you know? So I think it's good to talk about this kind of thing. So we were asking, the most recent one was, do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? Hatsune Miku. Sorry, Emu plush is coming soon. That's exciting. That is so soon. Okay, you better send pictures when it comes. I'm excited for you. I want to see that. I want to see it. I wish there was more like merch of my Sweet Piano, my favorite Sanrio character. I don't see any. I wish. Oh, maybe someday in my future I design my own plush and it's Ukyo, but in the My Sweet Piano outfit. That'd be so cute. That'd be so cute. Okay. Shall we move on to the next one? Okay, name 3 things you and your partner, as in like you and me, for example, appear to have in common. What do we guys have in common? I'd say we're all under 80, probably. If one of you's like, well, actually, I am 85, I'll be like, oh, good for you. Okay, well, that's true, but you know, positive thinking. Is that, okay, I'm just gonna, if that's really your hunch, I'm not gonna say anything then. But good luck. What are 3 things we all have in common? Yes, we're all under 80, I think. We do have a affinity. I like using fancy words. We have an affinity for Vtuber desho. And what's another thing? We all like pizza, right? We all like pizza, right? If you guys don't like pizza, I'm gonna fight you. Because I can't imagine not liking pizza, right? Anime, video games, eat healthy? I don't eat healthy. You hear a bunch of geese outside your window? Are you gonna become their best friends? And yes, you can make concept of that one. Future pizza and a lot of fancy wording. Do we fancy wording? Okay, I guess that works. Shall we move on to the next one? Question 9. For what in your life do you feel, what in your life do you feel most grateful for? I would say my tenacity. Is that the word? Yeah. I think my tenacity is what I'm most grateful for, you know? My genes to give me the tenacity, the quality or fact of continuing to exist, or persistence. I am very persistent. Why are you glaring at tenacity? Do you not like my very fancy vocab? I like my very fancy vocab. You know, not everyone has vocab as slay as me. As if slay is perfect English. Because without it, I probably would have given up on a lot of things a long time ago. Like, do you think I'd be drawing still? No. Would I be singing still? No. Would I be streaming still? No. Everything would be a no, okay? So, clearly, tenacity. And it also sounds like tentacle, and I like the word tentacle because it reminds me of octopi. And I like octopus? Octopi? Okay. What about you guys? Patience is your greatest virtue? That's good. Patience is a virtue. It's the greatest virtue. What have you recently been patient about? Because I've been very impatient about everything. Because there's been a few things that I've like applied to, and every day I'm just staring. I'm just staring at like the website and the Twitter, and I'm like, result please, result please, result please. I'm so impatient, but like I'm also very forgetful. So hopefully I will forget about it, and then I'll be like, wait, I got this. Because I was talking with a friend, right? And like a voice actor friend. And when auditions go for like 3-4 weeks, for example, by the end of the audition period, like if we do it, like send everything in at the start, at the end it's like, I got what now? I got what now? It's like, since when did I sign up for this? I don't know, you know? It's so funny. And they're like, oh, do you want to sing as Miku in the Tower of like Messiah? And I'm like, I do like that song. I didn't know you were casting people, but like, I'll take it. I'll take it. But then sometimes there's really sketchy projects and I should have like rechecked before I said yes. And then I go in and it's like, you guys are all 10-year-olds and you guys, I am old. That's what happens sometimes. Hatsune Yufu, exactly. The best Yufu, you know? The Hatsune. Yeah, don't join sketchy projects. Sometimes you know a project is going to go badly because sometimes it's so niche that, you know, everyone in the fandom is really young. And they're not good at organizing things. And that's kind of some projects. But sometimes I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to join this club group. Even though everyone is tone deaf. And everyone mixes with iMovie. And everything is really bad. But I'm going to join because I like the song. And some of them... It's so funny. Sometimes the tuning people do really well. And it's like, wow. You actually got them all in the right notes. To be patient on a phone call that lasts over an hour and a half because it's looking into something people I spoke to appreciated. Yeah, you're probably a really good customer because I can imagine a lot of people, I'm assuming it's like a customer thing, right? I'm assuming a lot of people would be like, no, I need to get this now. Why won't you give this to me now? And we're like, but we are doing our best here. I feel like if I had to do like phone call customer service, I would be crying. They'd be like, where is my thing? I want to talk to the manager. I'd be like, okay, here's the manager. And manager would look at me like, you good? Okay, let's move on to the next question then. Actually, I'm gonna skip that one. That one's kind of sad. I'm gonna skip that one because it's kind of long. Okay, we're gonna go to 12. We're skipping from 9 to 12. If you could wake up having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? You know, I would like to be able to teleport. I doubt that counts. Well, I mean, it could count. You know, I would like to teleport as my ability that I wake up with. You know, I could just get to you. I could sleep in so much more. I would never exercise ever. I would just teleport everywhere. It's like, oh, I teleported to my desk. I teleported to my desk. Yeah, you will remember this skip forever. Ability to be fully awake. Okay, that's a good one. If it has to be like a realistic ability that actual people have, I would want it to have that one thing where people only need like 3 hours of sleep to be fully rested. Yeah, it's question 12. Question 12. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? If it could be like magic kind of thing as well, then I would want the power to make food appear in front of me. Like, voila, it's a cabbage. People might be like, oh, that's so inefficient, you need water as well. What if you get stranded, you can only make food? Wrong. Cabbages have water. We could just eat a whole bunch of cabbages every day to get our water. Right? Is that how that works? Can we just drink cabbage? Just make an infinite amount of cabbage. You could start a cabbage farm with that. Or you could just start a farm of everything. It's like, oh, I have so much beef. And everyone's like, I need to check that you're like treating your animals properly. And I'm like, what animals? You won't get caught easily. Maybe it's better to just stick with the cabbage farming. You know, stick with the cabbage farming. Lugia plush farm would be good. And then I could sell them all because these resellers are selling them for like $500. You know, I could sell them for $500. I'd be rich. Oh, that Azor blubby blubby blah is the cat, isn't it? That's so cute. Okay, let's stay. Yes, was there anything else? Did anyone else have ideas for having gained any quality or ability? What would it be? What would it be? What would it be? And then I think we're officially a third through. We might finish them all. We might finish them all in time. We might. Okay, we can skip to the next one then. Set 2. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Magic of best hand-to-eye coordination to handle precision-related tasks. We could be like really good plastic surgeons, right? Because you need like such good coordination. Because have you seen that one clip of this dude doing like plastic? No, it's not plastic surgery. I think it was just surgery on like a leaf or something. No, it was on a grape as well, wasn't it? Or was that like a computer doing that? Either way, it was impressive seeing them do it. And I'm like, such tiny scale. There's like huge magnifying glasses. Like, I think that's impressive. You know, you might not think it's impressive, but I think it's impressive. So yeah, that could be a good skill. That could be a good skill. What about your skill being like just being 15% better than everyone else at just any task? I think that's a good skill, right? I think that's good. People will be like, wow, you're a prodigy. You're so good as a beginner. And be like, I know. And if you keep swapping tasks and being good at them, then people will be like, wow, you're so cool. Hello. We are doing the 36 questions for love. Basically, they're just questions that make you like think about your future, think about your life and your motives, that kind of thing. But yes, welcome. We were talking about if you could wake up tomorrow having gained any quality or ability, what would it be? And I was just thinking like, what if, 15% more realistic? Be realistic, but it's slightly boring. Okay, it is slightly boring to imagine just being 15% better than everyone else at something. But you know, it'd be funny. Making command clones would be great. Okay, would you be able to like put the clones back into you or something? Or would you just have like a whole bunch of clones and you're like, what do I do with you guys now? Would they need feeding? Would it be like, okay, Yufu 1, you can stand in the corner. Yufu 2, please get me a job. Yufu 3, please do my university work. But it would suck if your clones got better at tasks than you, because they'd have like their own practice and stuff. And then I would get worse at university. But my clone would be really good. And I can't just have my clone. I could just have my clone do my work, and I could just draw all day. Maybe that works. Okay, we'll go to the next question. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your future, your life, or anything else, what would you want to know? Basically, what would you want to know from a crystal ball? I think I don't know if I would want to know what my future is. If I knew what my future job would be, I'd probably like research it too hard, and then maybe I'd get like really bored of it really early. I wonder if just knowing would change my future. So then what's something that I could know that wouldn't affect my future? Maybe like a yes/no question. Like a, will I fall in love? But if the crystal ball says no, then I'm just gonna cry. I could try and prove it wrong. Please tell how my past, present, and future would be linked to each other and what lesson I can take from it. Oh yes, you could ask straight for the lessons, you know? That'd be cool. Like, what does my future self say about this? And future self's just like, don't ask the crystal ball. You gotta learn these lessons yourself. I'd feel so ripped off if my future self said that. And I'm like, but crystal ball. But no, when I checked the lottery numbers for 100 million lottery draw that I lost in the near future. Thank you, please. Okay, well, that's actually the genius answer. I didn't think of that. I should have thought of that. I was more like giving life skills, but life money. And I think that would take you further. Because, wow, 100 million is a lot of money. Isn't it though, like, a lot of times it's like, do you want 80 million up front, or do you want to get paid over the next 20 years? And it's like, well, if it's that much, I'm going to take the 80 million. I'm not going to wait 20 years. Like, who's going to wait 20 years for 20... That's $1 million a year. Maybe I would wait 20 years. Wow. Would you guys wait 20 years, or would you want the 80 million just immediately? That's a lot of money. Wow. Okay, let's go to the next question. Is there something you've dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it? For me, there isn't. There's nothing I've dreamed of doing for a long time. Can you hear something moving around? I'm just fiddling with my drawing pen here. Does it sound like this? Because I've just been fiddling with it in the side. I'll stop fiddling with it. I've also been fiddling with a toilet roll, but you know, I'll stop fiddling. There you go. You didn't hear anything. You didn't hear any fiddling. Yeah, I'm not touching everything ever. 80 million as soon as possible would be best. What would you buy with 80 million? You could buy most things with 80 million, right? But like, obviously not everything. You can't buy a planet, but... Right off, unless I have to pay tax on it. Oh, you probably would have to pay tax on it, wouldn't you? Right, you're right. Then, okay, 80 million becomes like... It'd probably become like 50 million, wouldn't it? So it really just halved. That's disgusting. Guess we have to win 2 lotteries, okay? You would buy, thank you. But if I won, I would buy 7 of them. Wow. 1 for every day of the week, so I can just take them with me. There's actually 2 versions of it, because there's Ukiyo and there's Ura Ukiyo, the other evil version of Ukiyo. And, you know, there's 2 versions. So I want to get both of them. But, like, they together it'd probably be like $800, including, like... Anyway, I'm only a lot salty. Because they were originally selling for $30. Like, that's ridiculous. But my Ukiyo collection does need a plushie, because there's nothing, so I still haven't got the Nendroid. I keep forgetting to buy it. I just have the Ixta. But I also need the Uxta. Cough, cough, cough. It says tax and lottery winning. Cough, cough. I don't know what that is. Usually down procrastination, not sure how to get motivation to just do it. Exactly. Me too. Do you feel like it helps when you have a friend like, do it? I feel like bribes work well for me. But only when someone else is bribing me. I can't bribe myself, because if I'm like, okay, if I study this, then I can buy this. No, I'm just gonna buy it. Like, why would I study if I could just buy it, you know? Like, nuh-uh. Contemplating doing things, I want to do it so hard. Okay, there's so many things I want to do at once, and that's where my issue is. Is that kind of similar? I don't think there's anything I've, like, dreamed of doing for a long time. Ooh, what I accidentally moved. Okay, just go back there. Just balance. Don't fall. It's falling. Okay, give me a sec. There we go. Yeah, there's nothing really I've dreamed of for a long time. Trying to tell friends I'm gonna do this and that, and then they ask, which didn't help. Make it feel worse about. Yeah, okay, if there's something I want to do, but I know I'm not gonna get to it, I don't tell anyone, because they're like, oh, how's this going? And I have to look them in the eye and be like, I know it's been 7 months, but I have not started. I have not started. So I keep secrets. Basically things that I plan to do, but, you know, if I don't have faith in them, you know, you don't get to know. I wish I had the confidence, though, to be like, I want to do this. And they're like, oh, you got this. And then even if I don't get it, everyone's like, oh, that's okay. But I worry about things. Like, if I'm applying for something and I know I'm not going to get it, then I don't tell people, because it's embarrassing to be like, I'm going to do this, and then not to get it. It's like, oh. But, you know, I should be more open with my feelings. And you can start hearing all my life history and stories and blah, blah, blah. So I don't want to do it, then immediately forget about it. Yeah, it's always embarrassing when you forget about it as well. They're like, have you done it? You're like, thank you for reminding me. And they're just looking at you like, you forgot for 8 months, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, I sure did. Okay, next one. Question 3 of set 2. When we get to about 6, we'll take our break, I think. Because then we're about halfway. We might get it done if we speed run. You should be open, though. Once you open up to people, they will open up to you. And once you open up to people, it's easier to open up to people. And it's easier to talk with people. Life tip. I was trying to choose between saying tip and hint, and I couldn't decide, so I was like... Okay, next one. 3. You can't... Okay, before I say the question, don't say nothing. Don't say something depressing. Okay, here it goes. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? My greatest accomplishment of my life. I feel like I had a really big accomplishment in the recent years, but I can't figure it out. Maybe getting into uni. That's kind of sad, though. That's kind of sad. I don't feel like that was a big achievement, but, like, academically, it was, like, pretty impressive for me. But I don't know if I have, like, achievement. I got, like, first place in a, dance competition once, but I was only against, like, 2 other people, so, like, it was not that cool. But I did get a trophy for it that I lost and broke. I remember being so jealous of people going to their houses and they had like 7 sports trophies up, and I'm like, I don't do sport, I'm never gonna get a trophy. I did get a trophy, and then I broke it. Finding out? Exactly, that's correct. But also, try and think of something. Being a good brother, not over yet, but we still can. That is so sweet. That is so sweet, though. I think that is a brilliant achievement. I wish I had siblings so I could be, you know, I could be a good sister. Or I could be terrible, you know, I could be terrible. You never know. Maybe, if you're thinking I'm a good person, maybe I would bully them. Maybe I would steal all their breadsticks. Like, that's a crime. I could be in prison for that. Incarcerated, is that the word? Fancy. Academic achievements? That's pretty good, though. Any specific achievement you remember? Is there like a time you got really good mark? I don't think I've ever gotten an 100. I did get like a 97 once. on this really, really, really easy Japanese test. Because I think it's like year 9 or something. And year 10 maybe, they legit taught us nothing in that class. They just repeated the same things from like 2 years before. So we were all getting like 90s in every single theme because it was so basic. And we got to year 11 and our teachers were like, you don't know this? You don't know that? What? I used to watch during high school in my grade and breaking a lot of video game records. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I forgot game records existed as well. Which reminds me, maybe my biggest greatest accomplishment is finding out about Ukyo. Because that achievement, accomplishment, whatever, has brought me a lot of joy. So maybe I know it's cringe, but I don't care because it's Ukyo. Gotten 101. That's so good. I'm so proud of you. Please give me some brain trying to say like brain power and like brain cells at the same time, and I just stopped at brain and I was like, oh. my bad. Okay, let's go to the next one. And then I might skip the 6th one because it's also a bit sad. 4, what do you value most in a friendship? I would say trust. Maybe that's a boring one because I feel like everything else goes inside of trust. Trust is like the huge category and everything small is inside it, you know? Perfected a test about becoming a citizen of a random country. Proud about that one. So did you become a citizen of a random country or? Huh? Anyway, I'm not sure I understand properly, but that's very impressive of you. I'm very proud of you. Okay, value most in a friendship. Maybe like being on the same wavelength, having like the same morals. I think morals is, yeah. Trust category with all things spread out from. Yeah, I think that having same morals is important as well because I feel like we could be like really close and then they'll say like, oh, I think all these people should die, and then suddenly the friendship is gone, you know? We could have been friends for like 10 years or something, but as soon as they pull out something like that, it's like, well, it was nice knowing ya, toodaloo, and then we'll just never talk again, you know? We'll just never talk again. But also, like, if a friend starts to associate with someone I really, really don't like if they become friends with someone I really, really don't like, then it's over. so don't go befriend my enemies, okay? Because then I will fight you guys. Honesty does go inside trust, but with the right friend, honesty is amazing and builds trust. I can see that. When I think of trust, I just think of, like, Trust Ranks from Genshin or something. Like, the word honesty makes me think of honesty, but the word, like, trust makes me think of, like, skill points. Boost that trust rating, and then you can get to the romance rating, and if you don't get high enough, they're gonna die, because it's a bad end. Okay, well, let's go to the next one then. What is your most treasured memory? What is my most treasured memory? Oh, I remember what my most treasured memory is. My most treasured memory is this one time, it must have been like 2013 or something. And it was when I was recording a specific song. This was like really early when I first started like doing covers and stuff. It was, I was singing Kodoku na Heaven, which is the Love Life song, and Hanayo sings it like Anata e no happy atsuku atsuku. And I think it was in English actually. Heartbeat, it's bursting, I'm burning. I don't know who wrote the lyrics, but I feel like they were lyrics. And I remember it was in my mum's study. So it was kind of like the only room with like a door, basically. And on the opposite side of the house from the bedrooms. So like, I was trying not to wake people. Maybe it was in like the afternoon or something. But it was like far away from everyone else. And I was trying to perfect it. And I couldn't get, because you know those songs that start like on the first beat, it's vocals. And I didn't have a metronome and I didn't know what that was. So clearly I missed out on the first note. And I was doing it again and again and again and again and again. But that's like one of the core memories of when I got into doing covers. I would have said like my first like treasured memory is when I got my first collaboration song cover. But then I remembered I was at IKEA. Yeah, I think it was IKEA. No, maybe it was Costco. One of the two. And I was so excited. I was like, yeah! And I was trying to read the lyrics document while walking around. But then I remember my childhood bully's mother took my phone and took my phone number so she could call me. And I was like, I don't want to call you. I don't want to call you. Anyway, and then my bully had the phone number because she gave it to her, and it's really sad. But, you know, that's why that wasn't the most treasured memory. But it was still fairly treasured because you know it was really sweet. It was so sad though. The person I collaborated with first, got like amnesia or something and couldn't like remember us afterwards. Well, that's what I heard. I don't know if that actually happened. Maybe they were lying because a lot of people lied back when we were like that young. So it could have been that. Could have been that. But it was still kind of sad because we didn't really like talk ever again, and they like changed their alias and that kind of thing. Been to IKEA once, it's pretty cool. Have you tried the meatballs? The meatballs are good. The meatballs are good. That's what I immediately think of when I think of IKEA. But I saw this one meme about this cat with a IKEA rat, and I was like, I want the IKEA rat because the cat kind of looked like Hachi, and I wanted to give Hachi an IKEA rat, but I don't think they sell IKEA rats here, and I don't want to get an IKEA rat off eBay because it's sad. A lot of praise. My first story I wrote in school is what your story reminded me of. I should start writing. You should write again. That reminded me of the time I got praised in one of my stories at school. I do like that question. We should keep talking about good questions and like skip all the sad ones. Of course, if you actually wanted to fall in love with someone, you'd probably ask the other ones as well. But like, I don't want to talk about those ones. I want to talk about good things. Because I remember, it was so funny. I was always bad at writing short stories, even from like 2017. You know, it was so sad. I was so bad. You know, we have like NAPLAN. They check where your level is compared to like standard in like year 3, 5, 7 kind of thing. So it's kind of like when we're like, what, 7, 9, and 11? No, that's not right. And then like 13, I think, maybe. I don't know how long it goes for, but it basically checks you against all these other people. And there was this one time I did really well in all of them because, you know, I'm about average. So I did pretty well, so I did pretty average. But my writing was like quite a bit lower. Like, I don't remember how many bands there were. Let's just say there were 9 for the sake of it. Maybe there were 7. We'll just go with 9. I don't know how many there were. But I got like 8, for example, like the second highest, or the highest for most of them. But then my writing would be like at 6, and it was like quite a bit down. And you know, it was so insulting. It was so sad. My mum came up to me and was like, I know you were doing this on technology. Did you happen to have like a glitch during the writing? Did something happen that you couldn't finish the writing? And I had to look at her and be like, no, I'm just bad at writing. But then, in year 11, finally, I was getting okay at writing short stories. Finally. And my teacher, who I thought was like disappointed me with for so long, was like, wow, your story is so good. Can we read it to the class? In the end, I was too shy to let her read it to the class, but I should have. That could have been my moment of glory. Anyway. Is treasure memory getting praised about writing a nice essay in university and achieving some crazy video game feats? I feel like a lot of these are, I was supposed to say amnesia because I was getting these messages and stuff. Like academic stuff, achievements, right? I feel like society is very focused on academic achievements, isn't it? I feel like most people would reply with something academic, right? Though I can imagine for like people with creative jobs. I forget like people actually do creative stuff as a job. I wish I could do that. And they're like, maybe they'd be like, oh, when my first book got published, or when I got my first major role, or, you know, when I sold my first art piece, you know, that kind of thing. I don't think I had like a huge momentous moment when I sold my first commission, because I don't remember what it was at all. So clearly it didn't mean too much to me. Sorry, it's my first commissioner. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna skip question 6. I guess now is a good time for the break. Then I'll be back in 5. Talk amongst yourselves or die. Ha ha ha. Also, don't leave or I will cry. Okay? And you don't want me to cry. You don't want me to cry. I'm just a baby. Okay, bye. Okay, I made it back in time. 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 I thought I was accidentally gonna take so long because I was just asked my mom like, oh, would you like to take me? Like drive me 3 seconds to a station. And then she went on and on and I was like, 時間がない時間がない Thank you, Mingna. Thank you for the brilliant welcome. I'm gonna change this song back to the OST. Did we really listen to like all the music? We really listened to all the music. Okay, maybe what's another otome we could listen to? I doubt there's Meiji Tokyo Renka OST on YouTube. We could listen to Vocaloid Bossa Nova? No, not Bossa Nova. What's the word? Lo-fi. Bossa Nova, lo-fi, same thing. You know, it's comfortable. So hopefully I don't get too distracted by it being songs I know. This song's so sad. Okay, let's go back to our question. What are we up to? We did most treasured memory last, right? Or most recently. Desu ne. Yes, thank you. I hope you guys are back. I hope you're back. I hope you're here with me. I hope you haven't left me. I hope you haven't abandoned me forever. Anyway, are you ready for questioning? You're back? Thank you. Okay, shall we continue on? If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are living now? I feel like I would definitely try and be a lot more free. I know, like, worries hold me back a lot. And it's like, I don't think this is gonna work, so I'm not gonna try it. I do that a lot. I tell myself I don't do it. I tell other people I don't do it. Like, sometimes I don't do it. Sometimes I don't do it. But, like, sometimes they're just hurdles that just feel a bit too high. So, like, then I would just be like, but I would try and put myself out there. I'd try and meet up with people, like, every single day. I would just drop out of uni. If I knew that in 1 year I die, you know, I would just leave. There's no point continuing this education. I might as well just draw every day, you know? Maybe I'll become an art god in the last year, you know? I didn't pop, you know? I actually hired a pop cat to pop because clearly I can't pop. See, this is me trying to pop. See, I can't do that. But, you know, cats can do that. So, clearly it wasn't me. The evidence is right there. I had to get a cat to be like, you know? Achieve something more than I currently am. What would you want to, like, focus on? Would you try and, like, improve a skill specifically? Or improve communication with people? Or improve something or other? Or try and... Because I know people at the end of their life try to, like, give back to society as much as they can. Do you think people would naturally try and, like, work more, for example, and do more in society? Do more helpful things, donate more money, that kind of thing. If you know it's the end. I feel like I definitely, like, give away a lot of money in the end. Maybe I'd work a lot and then I'd give away a lot of money. Because, like, what am I going to do with the money, you know? Besides just buy a whole bunch of noodles to eat. Wait, you might as well, if you knew, you might as well just take, like, a trip around the world the last year, right? If you had the money for it. Right? Like, I would like the money like that. You would fall for it? You will fall for it. You will fall for it. Pop cats are so cute and I'm not a pop cat. As much as I can helping others, so more for myself, I suppose. That makes sense. My brain just turned off for a second. Gomen. That makes sense. Are there any specific skills? Or is there anything you wanted to get done? Like a bucket list? Do you have something you want to do before you die? Is there anything specifically you want to have done? I don't think personally there's anything specifically that I want to get done. Except buy the Ukyo Nendroid and the Ukyo plushie, okay? That's on my bucket list now. That's a list. But you know, it kind of makes me sad when I finish things that are on like a bucket list, because then it's like, I need to come up with something else then. But then it's always like, because we're always like, oh, I have to get this done. Then once I get this done, I'll be free. And then once I get this done, I'll be happy. And once I do this. And then you just like time skip. And it's like, where'd all this time go? And I didn't enjoy any of it because I was focusing on the blah, 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 blah. This is from a like dystopian video I watched. I don't actually think it's like all that sad. Because like you have goals, that's good. Travel, you do want to see more of the world. Where do you want to see specifically? Is it like the views you want to see? Or just like the people, or culture, or just everything in general? Okay, question 8 is like really vague, so I'm gonna skip that one. 9 is kind of also vague. 10 is kind of like one we did before. 11 is kind of sad. 12 is really sad. Okay, set 3-1. Wow, we might just skip a whole bunch of these actually. Want to replay some games? Travel more of the world? We're skipping a lot now? I know we're skipping a lot. You have to sleep? No worries, no worries. Thank you for coming by. It's really fun having you here. Definitely rest up. And yes, good luck with your work tomorrow. Good luck with your work. If you want to come tomorrow, it'll be same time. Same time. Oh, wahahaha. Friends get challenge. No, what do you mean impossible? We can go back and do them one by one if you want, but it would take forever. We'll go back to them if we have time. Okay, we'll go back to them. And join tomorrow. Thank you. It's always fun having you here. Okay, where were we up to? Where are we up to? You also joined Discord? Yes, thank you. We aren't really doing much on the Discord right now, but maybe there will be something. Maybe something will happen. Maybe we will do some yapping. Maybe people will come to events. Maybe things will work. We will see. Thank you. Okay, what's the next one? 12 said last? Did I? Because we skipped a whole bunch of these. Oh, these last ones are like really romantic. Okay, if you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. Like, what's something important that someone else should know about you? Why do I have cat fur everywhere? Let me oh, there's cat fur all over the mic. How does this happen? Do you hear that sound? That was me plucking things off the mic. Okay, but yes, what is something you would like a partner to know about you? Like something important, not just like, oh, I like pizza. Something really important. I'd say like disclose mental illnesses early would be important, right? And if they react badly, then they're not the one for you. Don't hide your true self if you're trying to find love, unless it's like really, unless you're really out there and I don't know, maybe you smoke weed every 3 seconds. I don't know how these things work, bro. And then you maybe want to like keep that for like 3rd date information. Find out, because you wouldn't go randomly telling strangers like, oh, I do this, oh, I do this. You probably want to know that you can somewhat trust them first before you tell them that. Oh, especially if you tell them like, oh, I went to jail. Don't tell them you went to jail on a 1st date. That's not a good look. Maybe save that for like 5th date. Important to know. I would want to know everything, but like on a 1st date, important thing to tell you would be my interest, the thing that gives me joy. That's really cute though. That's really cute. I would really hope that you guys would share interests, right? If it's like 1st date kind of thing. I feel like 1st dates. Oh, I don't know about 1st dates. I feel like I'm not the type to just go out with someone just because. You know, I might as well like sometime for the fun of it. Because that's what meeting people is basically, right? Like dating strangers, just meeting people who are strange and then just dating faster than the normal friends to lovers thing, you know? But I feel like I'm more into the friends to lover. Like if I don't know everything about you and your life trauma beforehand, can't do it. Disclose a few bits of my past. They're willing to hear it after the first few dates once I can trust them. Maybe tell them about VTubers in general. They'd probably ask you though, then like, oh, do you VTube? Do you? Because like that is, that's what I get asked a lot whenever I mention it. Went to jail on 1st date would be such a good upsell. What do you mean? Wait, what does upsell mean? Hello, by the way. Offering customers additional or more expensive products or services they've already agreed to buy something. What does this mean? What does this mean? What do you mean? Like being like, oh, I went to jail, but I'm actually like really, really cool, and that makes you seem like cooler? Maybe? No? Anyway. Welcome in. We're just doing the 36 questions to fall in love, and we're skipping all the sad ones because I simply do not want to talk about them. So that's what we're doing. Yes. What's another important thing to disclose besides like mental illness, history with like the law? You should tell them about the law. Maybe if you like lived somewhere else, or citizenship, something you find interesting, like sexual orientation, maybe. Like, yeah, if you're not attracted to the person you're dating, you might need to tell them at some point. No, I would actually tell someone if I was. Okay, I would tell them, but I would not tell them like who, because I feel like that is more mysterious. They'd be like, wait, really? Then they probably try and stalk, and you know, if you stalk hard enough, then surely you're gonna fall in love with me, because I know all my things are so perfect, and you're gonna fall in love with me by just looking through my profile. Exactly, that's how you immediately reel them in when jail have been too committed. So, boy, worried I knew where they lived. What? This is a beautiful story. Okay, so then I went to jail for being the sexiest person alive. And I accidentally murdered people. I killed them because I just slayed too hard. It's funny in my head. I'm so sorry. I slayed so hard that they all just died. And then yeah, it's unfortunate. I do feel bad for these people who cannot handle my gloriousness. But I think you and I are on equal level of gloriousness. So I think it works out. Is that good flirting? Or is that really bad? Being in jail for stealing a plush would be your story. It could be. If you see someone on the news for stealing a plush of their husband, it's not me. There are other fans who like the plushies. Okay, let's go to the next question. So that means over-exaggerating simple traits. So if I'm upselling an apple, say the apple was kissed by Bob Aldrin, you try. Okay, wait, I've seen. Thank you again for ending for the memberships. Thank you, you're very generous every time. Thank you so much. Upselling. I do hear a lot of things upselling. Like there's people who are like, this is a vegan tomato, and you're like, bro. But thank you so much for all the memberships. Okay. Shall we continue on with the next question? These are really very like one-on-one kind of questions. So I'm gonna skip some of these. Okay. Five. Share with your partner, aka with all of you and with me. Share an embarrassing moment in your life. I'm trying to think of an embarrassing moment that I haven't talked about before. I don't want it to be something simple like, oh, I accidentally waved to the wrong person. I want it to be like deep embarrassment. Deeply embarrassing. I have mentioned my most embarrassing moment that I still think about. And this was in like 2012. Okay? That's how embarrassing it was. I'm trying to think of like something else. Is it watching your work? Why? Thank you. Please focus on your work, but also focus on me, you know? Focus on me so that you accidentally show me to all your coworkers, and all your coworkers are like, oh, who is this? And you get to explain that I am the greatest ever, and therefore that is how I will find new fans and become world famous. That it's all up to you about editing. If you mess this up, the world explodes. Okay, Baku Hatsuda. Yes, thank you for your dedication. Okay, let us share embarrassing moments. I could share my embarrassing story that I always tell. The one from 2012. I was a socially anxious child. I did not like asking questions. I did not like asking to go to the bathroom. You can tell where this is going. Let you on closing duty. Oh, fair enough. Yes, get home safe afterwards, okay? But you should still share the word of the... Okay, awesome. So back in 2012, I was in assembly, and I really needed to, you know, go to the toilet. And then I was called... Thank you, so low. Is this for like... saving me from my pain of embarrassment? Thank you so much, Solo. I will put that towards my Uka Plush savings. And, okay, so this story, and then I was called to the stage to get an award, and I was like, because this whole time, usually I want an award, but this time I was like, don't let me get an award, please. I don't want to stand up. If I stand up, I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die. So I stood up, and then I went all the way from the back to the front of the stage, and then I had to stand up, and I was like jiggling, dancing, whatever, and I was like looking around, because I knew it was too late, folks. It was way too late. We were gonna, yeah, we were becoming a floor pisser. Yeah, lovely story. So then I was looking around to be like, when is the best time? Because I had like given up. I had given up. I still remember the thoughts in my head because it was so stressful. And I was like, is no one looking? Is no one... Like, I didn't care if the students... I was like making sure the teachers weren't looking. I was like, are you looking that way? Are you looking that way? Are you looking that way? And I was like, okay, you know when you like... Maybe this is too much information. This is too much information. When you like wee a tiny bit, it doesn't like spill out because cloth does collect things. Yeah, no. So I was like, okay, just a bit, and then I'll be safe, and then I'll be able to go later. No, it was too late. It was waterfall. And then they're like, okay, they're still calling out the names, like, oh, Jeffrey Johnson, and then everyone would clap, blah blah blah. And then I just shuffled over, following the line, and the person next to me was like, why is the floor wet? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know, you know? No one saw anything. I don't know why you would think that, like, oh, clearly it wasn't me, like, clearly. And I remember having, like, nightmares, and I was, like, staying up late at night trying to be like, what's the chance that an angel from the sky came through? Like, the ceiling of the hall just disappeared. This angel came and, like, cleaned it up. And it was gone, and no one saw it. And, like, the next time I got on stage was, like, months later, and I was like, phew. It's clean. It must have been magic. I'm sure no one saw it. I'm sure it was just magic. Anyway, that was a lovely story. Kid was very into animals. One day I saw one of our horses that was by itself with a leg going out its stomach. I panicked and ran to tell that the horse is giving birth. After making a big deal... Oh. I think that's a beautiful story. I think that's lovely. It's how we learn about anatomy. This is how we learn about the differences between genders. This is how we learn about the birds and the bees. Through looking at horses and their fifth legs. I can imagine that would be distressing though. It's really embarrassing though. Because like I've looked at pets and I'm trying to be like, is this like a bite? Is this like a thing? Are you infected, or is this just a nipple? You know, like I was digging through this fur, like, which is this? Are you dying, or is this normal? Oh, so terrible. Sharing embarrassing information about me as a kid to her friends all the time, made a stupid goof up in a video game. Need I say more? Oh, it always sucks when like the parents share the embarrassing information and you're just there like, like why would they do that to you? To make them seem funny? It's not funny. It makes the child hate the parent and blah blah. Anyway, I have things to say, but I'm not gonna say them. Let me just go to the next one. Okay. That one is kind of serious. We'll skip that. Okay. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone, and why haven't you told them yet? Oh, this is really making me think. Like, I didn't have to think that hard, but it made me think, like, I really should say it. I really should say it. Because I would regret not apologizing to some people. And then I wouldn't regret not apologizing to other people, so... But there's, like, one person, or maybe a couple people, maybe. At least one person that I do think I should apologize to for some things I said. When I got mad. What about you guys? What would you most regret not having told someone? And why haven't you told them yet? I haven't told them yet because I'm embarrassed and I don't want them to remember it. I hope they forgot about the issue and I don't want to like bring it up again. But I really should apologize to them. Is there anything for you guys? Anything for you guys that you regret not having told someone? And why haven't you told them yet? Anything like that I would regret a lot. Not being able to see the end of many series I follow. That's fair enough. Is there really nothing you regret not having told someone? I imagine it would be really hard if you like had a huge crush on someone, right? And then you regret not telling them. I think that could be... I feel like that's what happens in a lot of shoujo, right? And it's like, I regret not telling her. And then she dies and it's like... Yeah, you should regret that. You should have told her before she died. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Oh, okay, there's only like 3 questions left. After we skip them all, maybe we'll go back to them. Okay, your house. Everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be? And why? Maybe the jungle skog. I don't know how to pronounce it. That one giant IKEA bear. Crush I've gotten over those I had. I think having a crush is like one of the top worst experiences. Like in the moment when you first realize you like them, it's like, ha ha ha, everything's fluttery, everything's beautiful, and you spend maybe like a few days just thinking only about them, or maybe like a week or 2 weeks because you're going insane. But then it's also the most stressful, most heart-wrenching moments of life. Would not recommend it. unless it's fictional and it has a good ending. If it doesn't have a good ending, then I would not recommend it. If there's only bad endings, maybe they die. That's why you play Otome, because the men don't die in good endings. And you know in your heart that they're not going to die. And you know in your heart that it's going to end out well. And that's why it's better than real romance. Which has too many variables and is like unreal. Not, well, can I just say reality is unrealistic? Unpredictable is the word I was looking for. Unpredictable. Anyway, the thing I would take besides the jungle skog, I don't know how to pronounce it, would maybe be my Amnesia art book. Because look at all the Amnesia characters, and Amnesia is very close to my heart. I probably should bring like a drink bottle so we don't all like die of dehydration, you know. But you know, one heirloom, some history. It's a big chest I inherited from my grandmother when she passed away years ago, but not easy to move, and I assume my dog is in with the loved one. Yeah, dog one is in with the loved ones. Okay, how about like for the final dash you get everyone to come and like, we need to get this chest, and everyone just picks it up and we all run outside with the chest. That would be really funny. Bonding activity, running in for a chest during a fire. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's like really, really precious to me. Like, I like all my merch and stuff. I really like all my merch and stuff. But if I were to lose all my merch, it wouldn't be the end of the world because I can buy it back over time. Because it's not like Ukyo dies if my merch dies. He's always going to be there, you know? He's always going to be in my heart. And that's what matters, you know? So, like, I don't know, fam. I would miss a lot of the merch because I look at it every day and it's beautiful. But it's not like the worst thing if I lose it. You know? I don't really have anything super special. House on fire, I'm grabbing my PC. Most valuable. Okay, well that's the smart way to go with it. I completely forgot you can just grab stuff. I feel like maybe I wouldn't even just go in. Even if I had time, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. But yeah, you might as well take your most expensive, valuable item. I didn't think about that. I feel like if you were married, you'd want to run in for your wedding ring or something, wouldn't you? I really don't have any like prized possessions. Wow. Saving anything close to me I can immediately grab on hand. My laptop would be the first thing, while my game device would be second. I should have brought my games. I'd probably end up grabbing the games and forget the Switch or something, and I'd be like, I have so many games, what do I do now? I can't play it. Probably should have saved the Switch and I could just buy the games again later. A lot of merch too, although several would be extremely hard to get again, but can somewhat be replaced. Exactly. Like, it's gonna be somewhere on the internet, you know? Sure, it might be like $5 trillion, but like, maybe someday I'll be able to get it again, you know? There's always hope. There's always hope. There's always some crazy collector who has one of everything, surely, right? I hope that can be me. I hope I can have everything. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? Oh, that one's also kind of sad. Okay, we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway because we have time. I was gonna skip like last 2 questions. Of all people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing? I'm gonna whisper this one because my mum's in the other room and it's not her. I think my dad's death would be most disturbing because, first of all, he's like a doctor and he tries hard to be healthy and stuff, and he seems like not near death or anything. He seems healthy, everything seems fine. It seems like he's gonna live for another 50 years. So it would be like really distressing for it to come out of nowhere. And like without him, I think we'd kind of be doomed because he is like the primary income earner for the house. Like clearly I'm earning like nothing. I earn like $20 an hour at best. And I work like 8 hours at best a week because I clearly don't like working. Yeah, no. So that would really mess us up. I would have to get like another job or something, or we'll have to work twice as hard. And I wouldn't be able to get a degree without taking out like a huge loan or something. And yeah, I think I'd just be doomed at that point, you know? Like that would be disturbing. Obviously the death part, but like the following impact as well would be pretty bad. So yeah. Younger brother, well, they will mean a lot to me, but that would be That one would hurt me especially. I can imagine that. I can imagine that, right? Like when you're really close and really sweet with one, like, family member. See, these questions are sad. I don't want to answer these ones. Do we feel close to each other though? Do we feel the 36 questions are making us fall in love? Do we feel like we understand each other any better? I think so. I don't know if you guys agree. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Yeah. Okay, that was it. Shall we go back and find some of the ones we skipped? We skipped a lot around the 12 mark, didn't we? Oh no, we skipped around the like 13 mark. Working the magic? That's good. That's good. Okay. Do I really want to ask that one? No, I don't want to ask that one. I really don't want to ask that one. Okay. What roles do love and affection play in your life? Is your life like focused on love? I remember there was like a moment in my life that lasted maybe like 4 years where I was like, romance is what matters most. Okay, that's what matters most. Nothing else really matters, you know, like I can work, that's on the side, I can have hobbies, that's on the side, but like my main focus is love, you know, and being with someone and having fun with everyone, you know, that kind of thing. So like bad endings. I like you as a person. Bad endings as a concept I don't like. I don't like when my favorite characters die forever and ever and ever and you restart and it turns out you didn't get trust high enough and then that somehow changed the difference between whether you got shot with a bullet or not. Like to one day? Would you say it's like a major part of your life then or more like a side project? I feel like it's more of a side project for me now. Because I think I'd rather like prioritize things other than like love. I mean, affection and love are kind of like, well, like romantic love and affection, you know? I like friend, love and affection, please give me so much. I like love and affection with friends and chatting and making jokes about things and other things. And I don't even know, fam. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But I definitely had a moment where like all I would think about is, oh, I need to find love. Oh, I want to find love. Oh, I want to have like, I want to have someone sweet next to me forever and ever and ever. You know, I had a moment like that, but I don't think it's like that at the moment. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. I am gonna skip those 2 questions. It really felt romantic love? Find it hard to connect with someone? That makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Not like being like, oh yeah, it makes sense, blah, blah, blah. But like, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. It is hard to connect with people, especially in like this day and age, right? Where everyone's like really busy and there's always like jobs in the, like, I feel like, I don't know. Clearly I haven't been alive long enough to be able to compare generations. But it seems a lot like we have to work 24/7, right? So it's like hard to connect with people like that. This teenage love where nothing else matters, especially since money and everything was kind of taken care of. But right now, single, sure, miss relationships sometimes, but doing good. Oh, I sorry, read that wrong. I read miss as like Mrs. kind of thing, miss. Sure, miss relationships sometimes, but doing good. I see, I understand now. I think I agree. Like, I see a really sweet person, I'm like, it could be me. It could be me. But at the same time, I don't think I have like the mental capacity to like be in love, you know? And I'm really, really bad at giving advice or like comforting people. If someone's like, I'm feeling really down because I just lost my job and I can't find a new one, I'd just be like, that's a shame. I hope you find a job. Like, I'm so bad at this. It's so bad. It's really so bad. Like, know in my heart that I care, but I just cannot verbalize any of it. I'm crying. It's so terrible. More of a side project? That makes sense. The most important whether it's platonic or romantic? Yes, because humans are, like, made for socialization, right? Always done? Just one last thing to do? Yeah, you got this. You got this. You're almost free. You're almost free. You're almost free. Get that okane. Get that okane. Okay, what's another question here? I'm just skipping through them trying to find. Okay, I wish I had someone with whom I could share ... What would you put at the end? I wish I had someone with whom I could share ... I would say my love for otome games because there's no one in real life I've met who likes otome games, and that's wild. You know how sad I am? What do you mean everyone plays FPS games and no one plays otome? And I say otome and they're like, haha, is it the men? And I'm like, way to oversimplify it. You know, it does go into like trauma, and it's not just like, haha, he's depressed, let me help him. It's like, it shows it. It really shows it. and it shows like how everyone responds to that kind of thing. And there's plot, there's really good plot, and it goes into like the human experience kind of thing, which is why I like it more than like the romance part. I like the psychological part. And like when you just say otome, people are like, haha, just dating men, haha. I'm so mad. Okay, but yes, what do you wish you had someone with whom you could share something? Did that English? What do you wish you could share with someone? With someone you could share something with? What would you want to share with them? Internet people I can share most things with, but yeah, I would love to have someone to share TCG with in proximity as well. What was TCG? Trading card games, was it? Your trusted marketplace for collectible trading card. Okay, yes. That makes sense. Okay, I agree. Like the internet has so many people, and I always like overestimate how many people in the real world have certain things, because I'm so like friendly with all these people. And it's like, oh, so you know every person is an anime fan. There's like a 60, no, maybe like 30% chance of like otome, and that's pretty high. And then you go to reality, and it's like 0.005% chance, and I'm like, like I forgot people weren't just all gay. Like the chance on Twitter is probably like 90% of the people on my timeline, at least a bit fruity, you know. And I go into reality, and it's like, what do you mean you're straight? There is no way there are 2 people in a row. Don't have any Rex to look into. You have to play Buster Fellows. 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 I don't think it's on sale right now, but the second game's coming out soonish. Maybe a couple months, 3 months or something. So surely I think it's gonna go on sale for like $1 or $2 soon. It's like an $80 game, okay? And it goes on sale, like really on sale. Don't just be like, oh, it's a cheap game, you know, it's gonna be bad. It's really good. It's a really good, like, they just put it on really big sales, okay? It's just really big sales. It's like 90% off, or like 95% off, okay? It is a good game. I promise. You will play it and you will enjoy it, okay? You don't have to play that much. You can just play like half an hour and then you will be hooked, okay? Okay, thank you. There we go. Okay, let me see. What else is there? That one's also sad. And that one's kind of... Okay, I think there was like another one I accidentally opened before, and it was like the 44 questions or something. I think someone else... Okay, 44 questions. Okay, we can do these ones as well. We're not going to get to all of them. We'll start some. Sharing games interested in VTubers you watch? Yeah, wouldn't it be so cute to watch them together if you had like the same oshi? Because I haven't met anyone who watches the same things as me in real life. And then it's like, oh, did you watch this? Oh yeah, I watched it. But like, nothing I'm insane about, they're also insane about. So it's kind of like, why do you have to be a casual fan when I'm insane? The only more can we ask a few things? You can ask a few things, yes. If you can't think of anything, I do have 44 more questions that I found. But yes. Feel free to ask any questions. What would you like my skilled opinion on? While I drink some water. And you get to hear my water. Is this still Vocaloid? I thought I would recognize more songs. Oh, it is. Okay, we're gonna skip to Phony because I actually know a song. Give me a sec. I accidentally closed pages. Okay. Where is it? Okay, got it. Back up. Require written list. Audio died for a bit when I went to handle the bins. List of the questions. I think we're just like asking questions to each other right now. So, yes. So it's just this one from in the chat right now. How important is same hobbies in potential romantic relationships? I think we should have at least like one same hobby. Because that's like a constant, right? You're always going to have that in common, right? If it's like a big hobby. I want it to be like a big hobby. Not like a, oh, I'll pick up sewing for a week. Not that kind of thing. I want it to be like a strong hobby that you've both done for like 3 years or something. Because then that's something in common. Because you can always like change interests. You can change like, oh, I like this thing. I like this thing. I like this thing. But as long as it's like one thing in common, then I think it's fine. Because I have, oh, maybe more than that, actually. Maybe you need to have a lot of interests the same. Because I have this one friend, since like 2018 or something. And we've been like, talking about now? Just this question in chat: how important is same hobbies in potential romantic relationships? Is what we're talking about. And I was just talking about how I had this friend since like 2018, and we were into like everything the same back then. We talked every single day, and then we just stopped kind of, and we just didn't have anything in common. So we kind of just didn't talk for like 6 months or something. And then Genshin came out. And then I played Genshin and we had something in common again. And then we started talking again every day. And we still talk like most days, I'd say. Like every day except days when he's busy. Yeah. But there are times when we don't have things in common, or like our Twitters aren't on the same thing. Like, you know, we have Alien Stage in common, we have Aikatsu in common, we have Free Power in common, we have suffering in school in common, we have singing in common, we have complaining about people on Twitter in common. Like, there's a lot in common, okay? There's a lot in common. But, like, in those times when we don't have things in common, like, sometimes we just don't have things in common, then we just can't talk. It's just kind of really awkward, and it's just like, so, how you been? But it's cute, though. I've seen his cat grow up in the last 7 years. I'm thinking the same, and not that picky in which interest hobby that I have, she would also have. Exactly. It doesn't really matter as long as there's, like, a shared one, you know? But, you know, bonus points if it's, like, one we both love, hate, you know, like, love and hate relationship. Like, if someone I was dating liked art, good, we can both complain about it together. But they better not be better than me, or I would be crying inside. Well, no, I exaggerate, you know? They could teach me and be really cute. But I feel like I'd be kind of like, why am I not a god? It would be cute to draw each other, though. I do think that would be very cute. 2 things would be honestly be better. Yeah, but 3 things would be better than 2. And 4 things would be better than 3. And 5 things would be better than 4. And 6 things would be better than 5. And I think I missed a number. Do you have any other questions? Any other questions? Sharing the same interest in videos while watching different ones is good quality. I think that's good as well. I think that's good. Another question: if choice between cuddling watching anime or go out walking, obviously it's cuddling watching anime. Unless the anime sucks and then we're walking, okay? You know, I don't like walking, but if the anime is like really fan servicey, then we're out of there. But then I don't think I would date someone in the first place if they just talk about fan service anime. Like, oh no, I fell into her boobs, and then I like pushed her away and fell into some other girl's humongous boobs, honkamadonkas, that appeared out of nowhere. I saw a tweet in response to that one clip, and it was like, I want to invent heterophobia. And I was like, oh, exactly. Time to go home? Yes, okay, take care. Travel home. High School DxD is free content. Haha, drink. I remember I watched it, like the first episode in bed, because I was curious. I was like, And then I actually got to it, and I was like, is this really what this famous thing was about? Really? Why would you say that so? Let me just read the one before first. Maybe VTuber. There's not a friend of yours. I really like. I'm not googling her name. I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah, Nimi. I like Nimi. She's really sweet. I don't like watch stream. I kind of just watch clips, you know. And she seems really sweet. She's always really sweet. And I also like Mume. There's someone else, but I don't remember. I like Mint as well. I like all the soft, all the cute. I didn't know them before, back in the other days. I didn't really keep up with them, but I see them quite a bit on my. Do we call it timeline when it's YouTube? Or is that just Twitter? What do we call a YouTube timeline? Suggested, recommended? I see them on my recommended a bit, so then I watch it, and they're really cute. Yeah, I know my Oshi's names so well. So I don't really watch them all that much, but it's cute when they show up. I have been stalking the people from the agency I applied to, though, so I watched quite a bit of them recently. If I don't even get an interview, I'm gonna be a bit sad. You know, I have hopes and dreams, and I'm like, oh, that could be nice, but you know, it's fine. We will do the natural, the slow growth. You know, yeah, it'll take another 4 years, but we'll get there. Maybe it'll be full time in like 7 years' time. How would you like to split up the daily, weekly chores? Equally based on skill, or just take it along the way depending on mental health? Ooh, I think equally based on skill, but then we like change it depending on like mental health. Like both of them, I guess. I feel like it's good to distribute them early, and then you can be like, oh, I can't do this today. Can you do this? Like, yes, I can do this. There's this really sweet game I play like really, really early into my streaming day. I can't remember. It was Love Choice, I think. And basically, it's like you meet this person, and the only options in like you get text options, for example, like, oh, I would like cheese or bananas. And the first few ones you just have to guess the answer and you hope it's right. But then they get into a fight and the only answers you can pick are like, no, I hate you, that kind of thing. And then they break up in the end, you know? But it turns out that there was like secret way to get a good ending, you know? If you want to find out her favorite movie, you didn't have to guess. You could like look through her social media and she's like, oh, I wanted to see this. And then voila. And I don't know how this related. I do remember how this related. Okay. And then there was this moment where she's like, I'm so tired. I can't do any work. And there's just like stuff all over everywhere. And the choice we had to pick is like, well, you have to clean it. You have to do this. You never do anything. That kind of thing. But then there's an option to just help her clean it. But like, it's a secret option. You have to like click around the screen to start cleaning instead of using the text box. And I thought that was a really cool mechanic. And it was really sweet how he actually do help. And then they end up hugging and it's like, oh, it's so sweet. And then I got the good end in the end. Wahahaha. Anyway, that was the end of that. Do you have any more questions for our final 9 minutes? Our final 9 minutes. The 9 minutes. Or I could just read off one of the 44 if you don't have anything. Oh, this is a good question. I have a good question. If you guys have a question, feel free to put it in the chat. But I'm just going to read this one out real quick. What is a small everyday thing that makes you happy? Okay, I'll do this other question first. How important is it to have a special room where you can withdraw and have merch displayed, or is it all over the apartment? I was going to be like, oh, it'd be nice to have a special room. And then I'm like, no, it has to be everywhere. Okay, I would like a special room, but I would like it, like I'd only accept it if they didn't get mad at me for having stuff in other rooms. Like we could have less direct merch. It could be like, just like a cat painting or something, but the cat is related to the game, for example, or something. And then we'll have that on the wall. You know, it's not like, you can't tell, it's like game merch, but it is game merch, that kind of thing. They'd better be okay with that in like in the non-merch room, you know? You know? I think that is okay. I think that's okay. But I would have to have a room where I could display my stuff. If I have to, like, not display any of it, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. But I can't see myself ever marrying someone who isn't into, like, games and anime, you know? I don't know how I got into anime and stuff. Maybe I watched, like, Jewel Pets or something as a kid. How did I get into Jewel Pets? Was my mum just like, oh, look, it's a cute animal. And I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe. What got me into otome? It was my one friend who comes to chat sometimes. And yeah, she got me into Mystic Messenger back in 2017. And I got Yusung's route first. And then I ended up playing a lot more than her. After that one, I tried to get some other otome that was similar to Mystic Messenger with like the time kind of thing where it's like real time. And then I kind of branched off into just like the visual novel type ones because I realized I did like the visual novel part most from Mystic Messenger more than the actual like texting mechanism. So then I went to more I watched the Amnesia anime and I watched some anime otome like Meikoi Meiji Tokyo Renka. And then I got into some of them through watching the anime first. And then I played the game and I was like, wow, this game is so much better. What else? I don't know what else I played. I think I just like stopped playing a lot after playing a whole bunch of mobile otome through COVID. And then I just stopped for a couple of years and I'm finally back into it. So, you know, that's good. That's good for me. I wonder how long it's been since I started liking Ukiyo. I could check. I think I got the achievement. I'm going to assume I started liking him at the end of his route, when I finished the route. Because I finished his route in a couple days, I'd say. So, like, around that period is probably when I decided I liked him. Let me see. When did I unlock Memories of Ukiyo? October 24th. Oh! November, December. That's 6 months. It's been 6 months of Ukiyo standing. Isn't that crazy? Can you believe it's been 6 whole months of Ukiyo? And Ikkyo only lasted like 4 months. But Ukiyo? 6 months. 6 months. It's true love. Wow. Well, also into merch. There might be some merch clashing, but could also be fun decorating interior design. Okay, well, did you see that one meme of like, I made the mistake of letting him pick one piece of furniture and he picked this humongous, disgusting looking gorilla couch? And it's like, it was like furry and had the like arms of the couch be gorilla arms and had like feet on the floor. It's like, I cried looking at it. Like, if you're gonna buy furniture like that, then you get kicked out. I'm sorry. Or you're gonna have your own room, but like the gorilla couch has to be in your room, okay? I don't want to see that gorilla couch. With my perfect beige, with beige and beige. I know it's boring, but I do like beige as a color a lot. Okay, a year soon. But then it'll be 10 years. It'll be 10 years. Okay, let's ask this one question that I read a bit before. What's a small everyday thing that always makes you happy? And this will probably be one of the final ones, unless you guys have like a final question. But what's a small everyday thing that always makes you happy? Ukyo. I could see a picture of Ukyo and I'll be like, husband, that's my husband. You know? Just from seeing a picture, I'd be like, ah, I love you, love you, or seeing Otome from Aikatsu. Just basically seeing one of my favorite characters will make me happy every time. Reading manga, Mahuai follows daily. Yeah, my other friend is like that as well. And she's always like, okay, time to go read manga. And I'm like, yeah, you go for it. Pay my cat in the morning is a small thing that makes me happy to start my day. That's so cute. I need more cat pictures, please. Sorry, send me the cat pictures. Send me the cat pictures right now. But that, like now, as soon as you said the word cat, I thought I started smelling cat poo, but I clearly can't smell it if it's all the way downstairs. And I'm like all the way upstairs. And I'm just hallucinating a smell because now I'm like, oh no. But cats always make you happy. I love that one meme of like, happiness is putting your face into a cat. And cats are so cute. Okay, that's good answers. Does anyone have like a final question then? Or we could close up for today. Unless you have a final question. Can't believe it. I can't read. Thinking about my accomplishments the previous day gets me the energy needed to start the next day. That works. I feel like, I think I heard like reflecting on good things definitely like improves your mood and stuff. But I don't do it. But I should. We should all take time right now to think about what is something we've done in the last 24 hours that was good, that we were proud of. It could be as simple as like, I don't know, getting up or showering or beating your mother at bingo. I don't know, just try and think of something. You don't have to tell me, just think of something. My one was, I'm gonna tell you my one. I was proud of myself for emptying the dishwasher. Because I was like, oh, I should empty it, but like I don't want to empty it. I don't know. So I was gonna leave it to let someone else do it. But then I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be nice to everyone. I'm gonna do it. So I'm proud of myself for doing something I didn't want to do. Even if it's really simple, okay? Helped elderly neighbor grocery shop and pick up medicine. That's so sweet. I'm sure they were like really glad about that. That's so sweet. I should do that sometime. We will share the positivity desho. What do I enjoy most in life? Ukyo. Okay. I thought that was funny in my head. It's like Ukyo, and then it just fades to black. But yes, considering it is 9:58, I guess we shall conclude our yapping session. Did you enjoy the questions? The blinking means please say yes. Please say yes. Did you enjoy the yapping? Can I blink and at the same time? I don't think my tracking goes that fast. Yes! I am really trying to be quiet. I started being like more self-conscious with the night streams again because it's so... Everyone's asleep and it's really awkward. Nearly 8 AM. Yes, good luck with your day today. Do enjoy your day. Do have cool stuff. Do get pizza if you can. And if you cannot get pizza, that is also socially acceptable. But like, you should. Yes, thank you for coming. I always enjoy having you here. Yes, learn quite a bit about me. Yes, and I learned a bit about you, and I will remember you forever and ever and ever against your will. You know, maybe you will become my enemy, and then, I will still find you. I will blackmail you with all this Anyway, yes, thank you everyone. I will say my farewell as I go find a song to double speed karaoke. What do I think for a song? Kyukuriri? Love Child. We've done Love Child before. It annoys me how everything is just the same recommendations again and again and again. It's like we've done all these. Just enjoy being home for once today. That's good. That's good. No work or anything. Just meow meow. Okay, thank you everyone. Oh, I do want to do a Deco song. We could do Deco's Telepathy. Let me get up the lyrics. Telepathy Deco. Oh, I was so early. Let me get that up again. Nemoto chodai boy, have fun with your cat's litter box solo. Bye. Oh, I forgot this is meant to be double speed. I'm messing up, fam. Oh, that's fun. Bye. No way. Maybe we're gonna turn it down. Telepathy, exactly. What are we up to? A happy end, just my life. Featuring Kimi o Nemoto chodai. Bye. Hi. Huh? I want you. Oh, want you going to come on featuring Kimi o Nemoto chodai. I want you going to come on. Featuring Kimi o Nemoto chodai. Thank you, 皆様. Ha! Or I could just not